Okie dokie. This is not too crazy, but we will make it work out. So, I'm Molly. I am hanging out on the guest bed in the knitting room. And every year, except for last year, I take out all of my stash, arrange it in a rainbow, and then take a couple photos of it before packing it all away in Ziploc bags again to live on the stash shelf. So not too crazy. It does look like I'm going to have to report a bug with going live in Firefox, but let's just say, what would it be? Let's just say that it didn't work. That was like 15 minutes of not drinking my coffee, which is very sad. And also, the height difference here is that my camera is up high and my screen is directly below it, so it's sort of close. As you do. So, hello! I know, be creepy. Nope, it's a mystery. So, what I've got here is I decided to use the bed to start putting things out. Because that seemed to be a pretty decent plan. Normally I would do the floor, but there just isn't as much floor space in this house. So let's get to it. So what is off camera right now is the stash shelf, and I may not be entirely prepared, but I do have 12 ounces of yarn in my bobbin. So I suppose we can start with the handspun, and that is definitely the latest handspun for sure. And then the results of all of this are going to go into the Flasher Stash 2021 thread on Ravelry. So, not too crazy. All right. So, I don't know how well my bed's gonna hold this. So, what I have going on right now is all of the handspun was convenient because it was, what would it be? It was the closest guppy on the art shelf, so not too crazy. And I think there is a little bit more handspun hiding in here. Yes. That. Okay. I think the rest of this is good. So, not too crazy. What would it be? So, this, for example, is some fresh handspun from 2020, which are basically the skeins that broke me. So this guy's 6 ounces and this guy's 8. This is 6-ply fingering. This is 3-ply lace. No human should spend that time. Yeah. And then this little yarn here ended up making my top 9. So this is a combination of Friends and Fiber and some hip strings that I ended up blending together to make a cute little sweater project. That was a part of Camp Spin 15 in 2020, and that's run by the 765 Shepherdess, Cheryl. And she actually has a spinning meetup that happens every Friday, regardless of what's going on. So we met on Christmas, we're meeting on New Year's Day. Like, what would it be? We're not going out. So that's what we're doing instead. This is what I just emptied out is my bag of class samples, and it is all sorts of interesting small things. Like this was a skein that I made in Jillian Moreno's Bats in the Belfry class. So I core spun this crazy wackadoodle yarn. Look at that craziness. Let's see, what other bag of bits and bobs do I have? These ones are a lot of, this one has samples and bats. I think I set these aside because they're maybe enough to actually make a proper project. Another 2020 skein, a gradient that I ended up spinning up that goes from orange to brown to blue to lighter blue. And I really do think these guys should be a project together. So, could be interesting. This is a skein that is a hybrid between worsted spun and woolen spun, which ended up turning out really nice. This was also a 2020 spin. Delicious. But, not too crazy. This is another pairing that I really do think would be absolutely fantastic. So this guy is camel silk, this guy is yak silk. I dyed this golden yellow. It feels so nice. See, this is why I have to take out my yarn every year. So I can be inspired and figure out what else I'd like to do. I really like this guy too. These are two that did not make the stash photo, or these guys are ones that I ended up spinning last year. So this guy used to be orange, and then I turned it chocolatey brown, and then I undyed it and turned it this bright pink. And this guy was the spin that almost broke me last year. So 1,500 yards, 8 ounce, I don't know, probably 8 ounces. Yeah. Now we got a variety of finger lengths. all of this jewel tone lusciousness totally needed to be together, right? So these two are coordinating skeins. I believe some combo spins. And then I really don't know what this guy was for. Is that funny? I'll have to look this up. I really don't remember. Oh, these were the extras from this guy. But then I think all of these guys need to be together because they are the coordinates that go with my hat. So we know how much I like this hat. All right. This is yarn that I added more twist to this year. I was going to use it in my Isbray sweater, but it turned out the main color I selected didn't have enough contrast. So I will have to find a new project for that guy. And this guy has all of my seconds, but not my leftovers from my epic sheep to sweater project that I finished this year. So I've got a couple of samples from waste. And these guys are skeins they ended up spinning from my second pass of combing. So I finally did get a start on knitting up some of these samples. These are all sock yarn experiments that I did in 2017. So I have 3 cable yarns and 1 really crazy pants opposing ply. And then some of my bulkiest handspun. So this is a combo spin, and this guy is a correspond bat. And this guy was also a bat as well. So it was a spinning sample that actually probably has enough yardage to make something with. And then we have the bag of leftovers. So I may end up pooling some things together. So this is all I have left over, about 9 grams from my fleece to sweater top. And then all sorts of small balls. And these are all leftovers from projects that I've made in the past. So this was a sweater vest, a shawl for a friend, socks, and I don't know why this goes in here. That's not leftovers, that's Captain Tickets. This is a dyeing experiment. This is probably a case of taking some white yarn and throwing it in the dye pot to soak up dye. And the slinkiest silk skein you ever did see. This wasn't a part of my bin, but was a part of taking every fiber sample I had in the stash readily available and turning it into a skein. This was one of my top 9 posts this year. Alpaca Delight. I think this is 3 skeins, I believe. So alpaca and starbright. And this turned out so soft and fluffy. And this is a skein that I made from bats that I put together at yarn school. Well, I think the handspun's going to take up one bed. And there is no room. No room for me to put out all of my stash at once. But we'll get started. Well, at least there's a little bit of yellow there. This guy was one that missed as well. This is my Kivia Camel Silk. I'm also surprised that we still have some white skeins in here. actually surprised at how much green handspun I'm finding here. I don't know what this is. Okie dokie. I am definitely missing something here. Haha, found it. A Ziploc baggie of red. I knew that I had more red. All right, definitely not fitting all of the stash on the bed. I'm not sure whether or not the blues are particularly well organized right now, though. Rounding in samples and small bits of leftovers. All right. So I'll tip you guys a little bit more. Yeah, this is going to take more than one bed. Which I think will decrease the visual impact of just how much blue I have. I am tremendously abused by my bobbin, though. Okie dokie. Just gently zhuzhing everything. I am very impressed with how much yellow I managed to get in the stash, though. This one's so nice. Okay. So, I'm having some doubts about my way to get it all done. But such is life. And now for a photo. Which may involve standing on the table that you can't see. All right. Really glad that I have this table. All right. No one was harmed in the standing of the table. Oh. We'll start that way. And on here. That's, I think, slightly less glary. Okay. It's a lot of yarn. What am I going to do? So, this means that my chosen method of putting it all out is going to be slightly changed. Because I just can't get it all out this way. So what I'm doing here is just making things a little bit more flat. I decided the neutral gray background would look better than my blue paisley that I have been keeping on this bed. Okay. Well, I suppose I think what I'm going to do next is put the rest of the yarn on the bed. And what that's going to do for me is display everything. There is, would it be 2 times this that needs to go up? So we shall make it work. Have my lace and worsted shelf, which is mostly Woolmisa. My Woolmisa fingering. Which goes to greatly help oranges cause. All of the shawl yarn. More. 2 bags of leftovers. And more shawl yarn. We got the sock stash. Another bag of random worsted. My toughest nail sock stash. Okay. And the rest of this is going to be sweater quantities. And that is the rub, because what would it be? 2019 was a rough year. You think 2020 was bad? And I got home a lot of sweater quantities in 2019. So, and those have definitely not been a part of the stash photo before. That's my Roma. My Shibui. Yeah, no, that was a lot of Shibui. Some very random yarn that I'm not getting rid of for some reason. I believe this is DFW sweater yarn. Different DFW yarn I got before my first SIK. My flywheel stash. My randoms games. That. SSK sweater coins. All right. my zephyr cone. And it's gray.
Let's say they do a partial of 25, they do a total of 40.
Okay. So that is a yarn explosion, guys. But it is everything. Sadness. Okay.
So they want to make sure it's
That is the here's the other one. As you do. And what I'm throwing off camera are just all of the Ziploc bags that I'll be checking checking and sorting through when this is all done. This is also my time to do the health check. Make sure nothing's got an time on and everything is in good shape. I don't know that I'm going to manage to do a rainbow this year, guys. I'm not sure how I want to sort this. I'm very certain this hasn't made it into the session. That just goes in the center always. Because everyone needs a pound of zephyr, right? Obviously. My not slide. My would it be my unbroken record of dark blue sweaters this year. I have it was never the case like, oh man, I really want to knit a dark blue sweater, wouldn't that be awesome? And then I realized that my last two sweaters were all of the dark blue, or what am I trying to say? All of the sweaters I finished this year are dark blue. But when you can get dark blues like this, how can one complain? Okay. Switch sides. I guess the only bright side to all of this is I now know that I have more than a double-sized bed with the beer. It's not too easy. All right. All right. Now we're just getting super hilarious. Oh, this is going to be a mess. My scraps of smooth supplies. Head fog, can you tell? I'm gonna try to put the little nicest scraps over here. More stuff right there. Almost there, I think. And there are some secret bags down here. A very small amount of worsted.
Oh dear.
I told you it was a yarn explosion.
Indeed.
Here's the one blue and sock yarn.
Are you live on video?
I am.
Oh no.
You've made an appearance now.
I've made an appearance.
Well, you would make an appearance if you stood in front of the camera.
Well, that might be asking a lot.
It would be a lot, wouldn't it? It's a very epic pile of yarn.
I guess I don't have a handy sock puppet to make an appearance with, so I will leave you to your thing.
Okay.
Hopefully your lovely viewers didn't have to listen to me chat with my mom too long.
It's hard to tell.
All right, love you.
Love you. The dear sweet little William's mother is also a knitter. She gave me my first gazeable pizza. And many of these in this bag right here. She is a true supporter of the cause. Okay. Well, this is everything that I could find. Oh dear. Silliness. So, it's more than a double-sized bed. But such is life. You're like, what's going on? All right. I know what I'm gonna do. Outlook unclear. There's so much yarn. And yet, not a crazy amount. So, there's a distinct danger of yarn falling down the crack of the bed. So, we'll stick there for now. So, what do I want to do now? Oh, this was also SSK sweater yarn, so let's see. Hello, Beth. Oh, we have several people on the stream right now. I haven't been paying attention. I've just been pondering what I'm supposed to be doing right now. Let's see. So, it is a lot of fun to do this, but it's also a little overwhelming too. So, just letting you guys know. I'm slightly regretting not taking over my living room floor, but I also don't want to carry everything into a different room. And looking at the free floor space in my room, I did not have enough space to do this in here anyways. It does definitely have good light, which is good, but oh my gosh. So, it is a decadence of yarn. So, I am debating right now whether or not I want to go all in for the Happy Rainbow action, or if I want to do slightly different sorts as I go. Because what I have done in the past is, or what I have done in the past is, as I'm putting it away in subsets so that I could get smaller photos at a time. But at this point, I'm feeling like what I need to do. I'm not sure what I feel like doing right now. I think I should get a photo of this chaos. And then dig into how I'm going to end up putting some of this away, so that I have room to lay stuff out in. That's my feeling right now. And then at the very end, I can release all of the fiber stash. There is maybe, I don't know, there's a pretty decent volume of fiber stash. There is a reason why I'm looking at the bulkiest things in the stash and figuring out how I can spin them down. So one question would be if I end up having some pattern to this or not. It's definitely the case where it's like, oh boy, oh boy. All right, off the bed. Okay. So what we have so far is that I've arranged my handspun in a pleasing rainbow. I've dumped all of the yarn onto the bed. It is more than a full-sized bed worth of yarn. And I'm not so sure how I'm going to be able to do a good rainbow sort on this with the space I have remaining. So, what would it be? I can't even get it in a nice even layer on the bed at this point. What I can do is spread this out somewhat. But give up on the rainbow thing for the time being because I did not allocate enough space to properly rainbow. If I had enough space to properly rainbow, I would. All right, so what would it be? I maybe should read comments in case chat doesn't work out. So that said, she needs to do this. We're playing about hardwood floors in the bedroom, and the fiber containment area is going to have to be emptied, and she's not looking forward to it. And so the other thing she said is my fiber stash is mostly in one cabinet and one set of stacking drawers, not counting the fleeces. That's true, can't forget the fleeces. But it is easier to corral than the yarn. So everything goes on the stash shelf, but that doesn't mean everything is inside the stash shelf. It's of the stash shelf. It is not as thoroughly contained as one would hope. So what I'm trying to attempt right now is to, ooh, this is gonna get messy, is to grab some of this stuff so that I can spread it out a little bit better. No, I'm definitely buried some of it with my not so careful throwing of the yarn. Aha. Oh, that's gonna be slightly scary dealing with that. All right, this really appears to be all of this, which is good. Well, maybe I'm one ball short of this. Which is fine. Let's see. I might just have to go with this because I don't think there's too much better way to handle it otherwise. Well, I can get my set somewhat lined up. There's just a thickness to this that I just can't quite handle. There is a little bit more than double thickness in some places. Like this Shibuya section right here. And also because I'm working close to the window, there is a sun effect that's a little bit challenging right now. So I really wish I could figure out what I want to do with this yarn, because it is scrumptious. It is the Vomisa blend, and it is a very, very soft sport weight merino cashmere nylon blend. Okay, up upon the table. Luckily, the table is low enough that that's possible. Get a shot from here. Go into another precarious place. Between the yarn shelf and, oh. How did that even turn out? I guess that is everything. Okay. So now that I've taken care of the hand spun, what do I want to do next? And just for those curious, we do have the yarn photo so far. Okay. Let's see. Do I even know what's going on? All right. So I believe it is time to take some of this stuff off the bed and go from there. So I have a nice big work table in this room, which is very awesome. But it is definitely not big enough to take photos on. It is great for standing upon. And now I'm taking all of the hand spun skeins and getting them on there so I can take a commercial yarn shot. Just laughing so much about all my white samples. All right. Nothing like 50-gram hanks to figure out a plan. Now it's a matter of figuring out if there is an aesthetic picture that I can take of this nonsense. Just because it's fun. Still loving the full width silk rainbow. It's so nice. Or would we, whenever you touch here and you're like, oh yeah. Very happy. Okay, it's looking promising that if I can get the hem cut off, I can fit everything a lot better, which is good. But I'm a little sad that I can't do a full rainbow. Such is life. Okay. I'm slightly regretting dumping my scraps in the bowl. Because as you can tell, they are getting a little mixed up. But yeah, there's definitely going to be enough room for that. Okie dokie. Good. It's very thick there. Alrighty, day. Now we have some working space. Cool. So, what's going on right now is getting some space opened up down here. For the various sweater quantities. That can be predictable sometimes. And I think that will open up some nice space. From there, just keep slowly shifting, moving things until it all comes together. Alrighty, right. Well, that could be a sweater quantity. It probably isn't. So all of our deep blue sweater quantities, and then the teal, and then I probably have too much, or would be too many blue sweater quantities, so maybe I should do a different color. So yes. And then that was maybe ridiculous for teal. Okay. So, got self-striping. I might not have enough room quite yet, but we're a little bit better now. May mean that I have to make the most of all of the space I have. Okay. You guys, you. This is separate and different sweater quantity. All of you. Try purple. It's a little bit of blue. It is me after all. Okay. Let's see. I think that's the end of me trying to be purple. Uh-oh. Wasn't prepared for that. Okay. So and if I fail at getting everything nice and laid out here, there is always doing some intermediate steps. I'm wondering if I'm missing the ball of that somewhere. Okie dokie. That might not actually be sweater yarn, but hat yarn, as you do. These are going for the back. This belongs with you guys. Okay. Alrighty, date. So, you got sweaters, got full mesa, got a lot of scraps in the center here. Various yarn for shawls, probably leftovers that need to be distinct from my wool mesa ones. Ooh, that's gonna get crazy fast. So we'll roughly sort this. I don't think that should be too crazy. Go from there. So much possibility of sweater. I'm going to do just a slight zhuzh here. It's a question of should I sort by color or by brand, but that's okay. There certainly are some that beg to be done that way, right? And some where you just don't quite have enough to make that work. All right. But I do know that the wool mesa does look very good with each other. So there's that. That is the truth. And some of this is just seriously random. All right. Running out of space again. But definitely doing a lot better. Okay. Alrighty, right. Oops. It's like a little bit of neon yarn, but this guy has a buddy. Okay. I believe I want to go here. Then I am making some space. Spread all of this. Didn't realize I had food by colorway. It was like blue rinse 2 ways. Okay. I think it is going to come together. It's just a little bit challenging right now. Okie doke. So I think what I want to do is striping. Let's get all of the little nice laid out. And gently zhuzhing anything that disagrees. Okay. Okay. Well, that is very nice indeed. Overs of some wool folk that did not make a stash photo because it got immediately used. It's very, I guess that's technically speaking, nice. Can put it with lace. And then we'll start getting into leftovers. So many bright, crazy colors of leftovers. Slightly terrifying. And now, I see where this is going. Can gently reduce that. And put my DK there. Having some yarn escape. All right, found a little hand spun extra in here. All right. All right. Oh dear. It was always bad when you have to follow the trail of cobweb. All right. So, got sweater quantities. This was the skein of Noro I was looking for. Might just be able to nestle that guy in there. And now, the most luscious leftovers in the world. Which really don't have much of a spot right now. All right. Almost. So, there's some nonsense happening in that back corner right now. So the question is, how much can I zhuzh to get that laying a little bit more flat? And then we'll be pretty close. I think they're just gonna end up being this sort of strip of small bits and bobs in here that's not too crazy. But we'll go back around. Okay. All right. So we've got leftovers, small balls, and some stuff that's not fitting super duper great, but we'll make it work. So we have some like shawl kits over here that are resisting a little bit. I think we're gonna make it. Just have to straighten out what's going on over here. Let's left over there. These are meant to go with each other. I feel like if there can be a rainbow organized, there should be. All right. All sorts of fun leftovers in there from various gradient projects I've done. I think we managed to get it all in one layer. Which is good. So it's a little tight up in there, but it's okay. So there's this like strip of leftovers in just because when I started organizing sweater quantities down here, when my severe and self-striping and fall kits up here, that's just sort of how it broke down. And then these guys just fit nicely there, so we're gonna go with it. Some of this knot wool ended up here. I may end up taking all of my knot wool and storing it together. There's a little bit of knot wool over there, but such is life. We'll make it work. There's definitely some super duper nice feeling scraps up here. Yeah, I think this is gonna work. So now I just need to climb off this side without disturbing things too much. Did disturb stuff. Okay. It's looking pretty good. All of the sweater quantities, all of the vaguely sweater quantities anyways. It's a little tight in that corner, but I don't think that's going to be the end of the world. These are all meant to be together. Just gonna push that way a little bit. My indigo skein. I'm going to move over here next to this buddy. That red yarn just doesn't want to stay there. Okay. All of the commercial yarn. Cool. Let's see here. Definitely slow TV for you guys today. So I'm going to stand in one precarious dot, and take a photo. And I'm going to stand in a less precarious spot and take a photo. We'll go with that. So, oh dear. That would have been fun to have taken a time lapse. Oh dear. Struggling a bit to get this on the shot. But 1.5 beds of yarn. We'll take a photo of that for the nonsense. Okay, next precarious spot is on the table. Okay, this fits it a little bit better. Up. Red yarn fell off again. That woolly one just doesn't want to stay in place. Okay. All right. So, the next question is, how do I want to go about putting some of this away? With the thought process being that I may want to have a separate shot with the sweater quantities, just because that is what I'm feeling right now. Though I certainly do have some epic projects worth of yarn on the bed. The sweater quantities are what preoccupies me right now. Just reduce that slightly. Okay. And we can go from there. Not too crazy. So, and we have to laugh a little bit because all of the nicer lace skeins count as sweater quantities. Because if you have a mile of yarn, you definitely have enough yarn for a sweater. I'm just going to assume this could be, but I'm not 100% sure. And most luscious yarn magger. So we'll get those out of the way. for that, which opens me up to collect some of these guys. And I'm certainly going to have some slight differences on how I pack everything, but that's just the nature of the stash sort. See if it keeps making air. That means it's probably done. Yeah, there's actually something wrong with this one. That's why we check. Unless there's something about the design of these bigger lip Ziploc bags that is warning me. Interesting. Well, I see something about the design of this bag. So, my worsted stash is very small at the moment and contains all of these different shades of warm purples in a surprise move to everyone here. And then the other thing going on, yeah, I don't think I'm going to do a separate photo of the, I guess I could do a separate photo of the Little Mice this year. Which means it's going to get left out for a little bit longer while I deal with that. I will make the most progress if I can get my sweater photo in. So we'll focus on that. As you do. And we'll stick this hand plug in here. It's also on the thicker end. It's more of like a sport, but this is where we're running at. All right. Finishing this, so Beth chimed in, finishing a sweater does make a big space in the stash. I'm nearly done with my third sweater for 2020. Of course, one of the significant others that I got in March this year. I've done 2 sweaters and fixed one this year. That's it. Well, that's true. I also need to get the fiber going as well. Oh well, we'll make it work. Let's see. And I'm putting together my scraps here. I might need to leave scraps out for a bit for containment. So this can be, we have room for that sort of stuff, so that should be good. and the most delicious yarn ever. Oh, so good. I have one more scrap of this somewhere in here. You can probably just tell by feeling around. You don't even, with the wool folk, it just feels so otherworldly. It's ridiculous. The other thing that I could do instead, because I have some hole balls in here, and then I also have scraps. Is split that up a little bit. Get that sort of off to the side there. I have my 2 worsted skeins of Noro here, which hopefully will be made into a project with each other. Oops, forgot to that guy. All right. So that guy. Okay. And then start working on the commercial sock yarn. We'll have a little bit of left because this is some of the last yarn I got at River Knits in Indiana, which was my very first LYX. We shall see how well I can tack from there. So I try to get at least 4 skeins of sock yarn in every Ziploc bag, because that ends up being pretty big packing. Squeeze, close it up. And we'll just go from there. Okay. Go. Let's see. That's pretty fun. Okay. All right. Time to set aside a lot of the knot wool and put it all in the same bag. I'm trying to remember. I may need to wait a little bit to find the bag I intended to do that with. As you do. And so now we've got our lace weight yarn. This bright, brilliant blue is a 100% silk. That is amazingly luscious. It is very spectacular. Okay. So I'm pulling out my knot wool mostly because I want to use it in the same time as some of the other stuff, so it makes sense to separate it. As you do. You just have to be accepting of the fact it just doesn't go with the other stuff very well, and definitely horribly tangles. Because it just doesn't want to stick to itself. You know, some of those scraps are definitely on the harder to deal with side. There's some more knot wool. Okay. Yep. There's some knot wool. You know, this was definitely the year where I busted quite a lot of fingering weight scraps, which is very exciting. Okay. But it makes sense to have all my cellulose. Uh-oh. We are in the sunshine and lost a good view. Let's figure out what we can do to fix that. Somewhat limited on how much I can move. Yeah. Yeah, that's not terrible focus now. We'll make it work. Okay. Moving on. So, they're not terrible now. I think I mostly fixed the focus. Can I turn everything off? Yes, I can. All of the knot wool neatly contained. Cool. Not that I would normally allocate that much space to it, but it just seems to be a better plan. All right. So I have 3 skeins of stranded BFL nylon. And then I have 6 skeins of singles. Or I could just start putting away self-striping sock yarn. I am glad that it's not totally crazy. There's definitely something not quite as good about these bags. We'll start with that and go from there. Now I am wondering a little bit if some of this is as delightful as some of this is. A lot of this is 2-ply. Yeah, all of these are 2-ply self-stripers, so it's possible that I will not be knitting socks with them. And half of the skeins in this bag are SSK door prizes, which is cool. I was very specific about getting Caitlin's yarn. But yeah, we'll make it work. So, 1 self-striping bag done. Oh, this is a vintage one. We're solid. We can just have a single bag of mustache. Isn't that exciting? No, I really can't fit another one in there. And 2 orphan skeins of self-striping in strange shapes. As you do. we'll figure something out. Okay. I don't think I had all my stranded in a Ziploc bag before, so that's fun. Right. So the problem with the gobstopper, well, gorgeous, is that it is much, much harder to store this way, but we'll find a way. I may stick it in with these guys because they're the case of yarn usage gone awry. It is a full skein, but it's just a little funny. We'll make it work. All right. Okay. Cloud Stitch, what are you doing? New Year tonight. And Beth has chimed in with, husband just made it home. I'll have to miss the end. Looking forward to seeing the pictures on Instagram. Have a happy New Year. So to answer Cloud, I am working on putting out all of my yarn for the photograph. I'm now in the process of slowly but surely putting some of it away. As you do. Not too crazy. But it definitely is a few-hour process in order to get everything squared away. And then sort of trying to separate sock yarns for socks versus yarns intended for shawls, as you do. So that's pretty sensible. Also pondering if some of my smaller scraps need to be sorted in that way too. Because I definitely have some odd men out at the moment. But yeah, we'll make it work. Working through the bags. Thanks. Check this out. It's good. Okay. 5 in this one, which is exciting. Okay. All right. These all are meant to be together. They will stay together. Oh dear. While that is airtight, I think we're going to disqualify this bag. Something bad has happened to it. Not that I like these bags as much. So all of these are meant to stay together. They are going to be vacillate in the future. And can we... No, those aren't going to fit in there. But I bet these guys will. And we can keep them with that. Here. Or we put this guy in. Oh yeah, that'll work. They're not meant for feet. Like a whole subcategory of my stash. So all right. You can't quite see how precarious that balance is, but we shall work it out. Okay. definitely loving the merino neck yak nylon for sure. It's a very gorgeous bag now. This guy's a very fresh bag. Get these guys put away. No, that's not work. Okay. We'll go with it for now and call it good. All right. Ooh, that is suddenly terrifying. Some good tangles are working in here, unfortunately. Oh, it's never good when you have both ends of the ball in play. And tighter than that it was. This one's contained. This one is not. This one is not. Very, very small bits here. Bigger amounts. Okay. have to find the rest of this kit and put it in this bag too. Okay. I was contemplating keeping my softer scraps separate from my more sockier scraps, but we'll just go with this. Like I definitely have some pretty substantial amounts of these because I missed them when I was getting rid of them earlier this year when I made a rainbow wrap. Which is sad because I definitely needed some yellow in that wrap. And I did not have it. So I pulled out a lot of stuff for that one. But we'll go with this and call it good. I also kept yarn for repairs for this guy, so should be all right. Uh-oh, avalanche. But definitely stashed down to 1.5 Ziploc bags of fingering weight scraps, which is fantastic. All right. So I think it is time to move on to the next one. I have not found any additional worsted weight scraps, so we're gonna seal this guy up. Okie dokie. So now that we've cleared out a little bit of space, we can get sweater quantities out, which is good. And then I can get the bowl nicely shot and put that stuff away. And then we'll be rolling away. So go this way. And we'll try one this way, but this one might not work anymore due to the sun. Won't be too bad. Good there. So this is more spinning raw material than sweaters on raw material, but it can be used for that, so we'll call it good. Okay, now we just need a little myself. Guess I am one skein of lace away from making this fit nicely. Okay, so that's not too crazy. Not too crazy. Much crazier than the rest of the sweater quantities. But such is life. Okie dokie. Only the most luscious of bags. So, Pimentone and Love Note. And then in this bag. And funny thing is to be not too crazy, getting all the Shibuya knits into not too many bags is a worthy goal. The other problem is with these DK and Sport DK Sport sweater quantities, is that I can't fit them all in the same Ziploc bag, which is slightly crazy making, but such is life. We'll try to get as much like with like as possible. So this is going to be a this is a Carol Sunday design Piper, a Harrisville Designs flywheel, which is a super pretty dyed-in-the-wool woolen spun sport. And because it is sport, because it's woolen spun sport, it just takes up so much room. But such is life. So it doesn't make for a very thick bag, but I can't really fit that much in because it's so lofty. And what's probably going to happen is I don't know, I think I can fit 5 in here. We'll make it work. But it will be interesting to see how I like this yarn. Definitely very much so in love with the colors. Okay, so I can fit 5 in, so I will. But these are 50 gram skeins, so this was definitely a inspired by Rhinebeck purchase. But it is not merino. It is pure virgin wool. 50 gram put-ups, good to go. Oh, I didn't go anywhere. Okay. That. So what I'm assuming is going to happen is I'll be able to get 4 or so of each in, and then I'll have 1 left over of these guys. But the Deep Blue Sweater Smash is alive and well right now, so that's good. Several similar shades. But is my oldest sweater quantity right now. Madeline Tosh. So before I went to my first SSK in 2015, I went to meet with Christina before agreeing to spend several hours in a car with her. So she drove me to, or whatever, I was her company going to SSK, and then I ended up flying back, and she was my wheel mule as well. So because she ended up driving, I was able to bring my wheel that year. When I went to SSK in 2017, I did not, I didn't end up bringing the wheel, but when I went in 2019, I flew with my legroom, which does fit in a large checked suitcase. Well, maybe the checked suitcase is slightly worse for wear, along with the legroom, but such is life. So what that meant was, or would be, it was the case where when going to a retreat like that, it definitely helps quite a lot. Or would it be going to a retreat like that? It's a perfect opportunity to do a lot of swimming. So that is what I ended up choosing to do. Because I definitely missed my wheel in 2017. And I also have to laugh a little bit because how your stash needs change over time. Like being in a place where it's 57 every day. I definitely like the worsted weight a lot more here than I did when I was in Texas. So some of my purchases are reflecting all of these fingering and light fingering ones are reflecting the dark time in my life where wool was not allowed for most of the year. But now we are in wool season all the time, and I'm very happy. And this was supposed to be for his wag, but I'm not knitting Caitlin Hunter's patterns, so there's that. And I suppose getting to work on the field makes sense. This bag is good. Yeah, I'm betting it came part of the seam somewhere. Can't see the obvious hole in it, but making me nervous. Shibui is going to be a blue yolk at some point. So I put together a very nice gradient of this, would be Sema, which is 70% super baby alpaca, 30% wool. And it is so soft like kittens. It's amazing. I got for a streaming deal because my OIS in Dallas was going out of business. Or would it be closing? I probably could have continued. It's driving me slightly crazy. This may explain my mysterious balls of yarn on the floor, though. It seems like a sort of bad batch of Ziploc bags, to be quite frank. Don't like it. Which is unfortunate because it seems like a lot of these pretty tough guys are having a bit of a rough time. Okay. You guys. So this this tealy green is going to be the MC for the blue shimmer. It should be very lovely. Not quite the Bohus yarn that I was hoping to get at some point, but certainly close. Okay. I'm wondering if I'm going to end up putting away this guy with a whole nicest game just because it's so big. This guy may not be a sweater, but it certainly could be a colorwork hat of some sort as well. I did enjoy working with it quite a lot. All right. 6 fit in the bag? I think we can. It's like this fully roll. You just can't get the same packing density in it. Alright. It's not perfect, but I think that will do. And because I'm doing silly things, we'll pick out some older bags. They seem to be a little bit better suited for that. So this is going to be a swim ring sweater, which is Scandia knits, and will be my first steeping project. So, and exciting Norwegian yarn, as you do. We'll go with the slightly akimbo method. All right, I think that's fitting in slightly fewer bags than I did before. Okay. Question here is, I don't think all of them will fit in there. So this is going to be a weekender, which is a India Maori pattern. And it's going to be marled, which is going to be a lot of fun as well. But I've been living in a bag, one of my roll bags, waiting for its moment in the sun. Problem is, you just can't get very good packing density with this style of ball because there is a pretty sizable cardboard tube holding it open. It's going to be interesting to knit with this. It's just like it'll be interesting to get this one into this bag. Might have been a reason I had that in a slightly different bag. Okay, we're just gonna go with this big guy. Probably the bag that got it wet. I'm not 100% sure why I didn't end up getting 6 of these guys, but oh well, such is life. Yeah, this guy needed a big bag. And I think I'm gonna put my sizable lace leftovers with this guy. Yeah, I am down to even numbers of the Woolmeisa lace guys, so that's good. That was the very dense bag right there. Okay. Alrighty, date. So I should get the put away. Leftovers. And let's go. Looks like I might be pushing this one a little bit. There is no plan here. I bought the wrong mousy color, over-dyed it, and then I also have some leftovers of the mousy color I got. But I managed to squeak it in. I don't know, these guys are Mondo 200 gram skeins, so it doesn't take a lot. But at least we got that guy cleaned. So yeah, the newer label, very, very tightly wound lace yarn. And my favorite Woolmeisa color, Stella Polaris. So this guy is super gorgeous. This one is a Kuchen. That's a very lovely dark blue to even sort of purple even. On the tighter wound skein over the top. I believe I got both of these at the Woolmeisa store in person. Okay, that's switch the order. Fluffy. That's too dark. I can't tell if the fluffier ones are better because they can squish a little bit more, or if I need to mix a fluffy with a tight in order to make two fit. They definitely are challenging me. Okay. We are not too far away from sunset at this point, so go. Right. A whole bag of favorites. All right, so the hope here is to fit 5, I believe, per bag. But I can actually get away with 4 and 4 here. So we'll make a cool bag. Yeah. See if I can make this guy fit. Oh, that's being annoying, so let's just go with 4 and 5. Good. Maybe some of the other ones will go a little bit nicer. Here. Bag of fire. scale fade in here. It'll make my life easier. Let's see if I can. Okay, we did force it. Perfect. Pretty gorgeous bag. And I have to fit on this one. Sort of curious how I managed to 5 in here before. Oh well. Okay. So I have some bigger amounts of lace weight leftovers, but I think I'm just gonna throw them in with the fingering and call it good. And I'll figure out which bag goes where. But I've got like the case of all mice and scraps from various people. And all of this is yarn I've mixed socks out of in the past. But I'll stick the smaller scraps in. A different spot. This is more like all color work material here. A gorgeous little box of possibilities here. And then we'll have so it's hard. This can fit. Oh yeah. I think we'll be able to pretty handily get all of this in here. So a lot of this is for grandpa socks and other such fun. Okay, this guy a little bit over down. Okay, I will be able to make this guy work. But definitely made a big dent in the Woolmice stash this year, which is awesome. Okay, so I have to get rid of that one. So I believe with that, I think I have filmed all I can film before the sun goes down. I want to thank everyone who joined me or will be joining me in the future. So, yeah, at the very least, it's some Slim TV. So with that, I hope you guys have a lovely week and happy stashing. So take care, guys. Bye-bye.